I'm gonna go over the two biggest mistakes that I see with brows. One is using powder. I am using a color in ebony and you will still find that it's too warm. So what I'm doing is I'm going as intentional as possible to do my method that I prefer, which is outlining and not focusing on where I have the hair because I don't need makeup there. If you have the hair there, you don't put pencil or powder. But that's not what I see. What I see is people grabbing their powder and applying it all over to their brows and their shape that they currently have. What this does is it blocks your skin. It is natural to see your skin in between your hairs unless you have really, really thick, dense brows with coarse hair. It's natural to see your skin. So what this is doing is it's blocking the skin to where you can't see it, and it's not enhancing my shape. What it's doing is it's creating a bold existing shape that's making my brows just look darker. If your brows are blonde or invisible or need some color, don't use pencil or powder, use pomade. And this is what I recommend instead. I'm not lacking in the centers, but if I was, I would do quick little hair-like strokes, but I can't do that with powder. I can't make my brows look natural. It looks like makeup, not like hairs. Remember, your brows need to be parallel, and how we do that is lightly outlining our brows to make them a little bit more accentuated in shape and balanced and parallel. See how much more of an even and balanced shape that is, opposed to just filling in and basically brow blocking what you already have. I have the hair there, I don't need to add more makeup to it. And if your brows are light, invisible, blonde, or just a bit too ashy, you want to use a tinted pomade or gel, and then you want to back comb those hairs up. I don't like them looking more unnatural and spiky, but what I do want to do is I do want to set them in a more upward position to where you can see all those individual hairs, opposed to them going to the side and just creating a more skinny, blocked brow. If your brow hairs grow down, you won't be able to get them to go straight up, and I don't want that for you because, again, that's going drastically against what you naturally have. I want to slightly adjust and enhance what you naturally have, not drastically change. So if your brow hairs grow downward, if you can, just scooch them more to the side to where they're not blocking your arches. So I just removed the powder, and the second mistake is basically the same thing, but using one of those thicker, this is the Tom Ford, one of the thicker brow pencils. And again, I just see all of these people doing their brows just like this. They're just quickly going in and making what they already have show up in a more bold and still unbalanced way. If you can just make that tiny adjustment with being intentional, finding out exactly where you're lacking, not applying the product all over, using a pomade to make those hairs show up, not a powder, not a pencil. Two very different things. Think of the pomade as your hairbrush and the pencil as the hairdryer. Completely two different products that are intended for very different things. I use a pencil to enhance my shape and make it more even and balanced, and use a little bit where I need, not all over. And you can see it's such a big difference that I think looks more natural and is more enhancing to my natural shape.